Okay, so have you ever noticed how some marketing campaigns, they feel like they're like messing with your head and not like in a bad way, but like almost subconsciously persuasive?
It's fascinating, right? Like the line between like a catchy jingle and something that like really gets under your skin.
Exactly. And that's what we're diving into today, using the film Inception as our guide. We're going to see how this fictional world of planting ideas actually mirrors some seriously clever real-world marketing strategies. You ready?
Let's go. We're talking about taking your understanding of service marketing from like basic to, whoa, I never thought of it like that territory.
You're ready to have your mind bent a little?
Let's do it.
All right. So picture this. A world without any oil service industries. No restaurants, no barbers, not even someone to fix your leaky faucet.
You're on your own for everything.
You are completely on your own for everything. It's actually a thought experiment from one of the articles you shared.
Oh, right, right.
And it really highlights how much we rely on these services without even realizing it.
It's true.
It's crazy. Makes you appreciate that morning latte a whole lot more.
Yeah.
Which brings us back to Inception. Instead of coffee, they're serving up something way more potent. The ability to influence someone's deepest desires.
Yeah, Dom Cobb and his team, they're like the ultimate service providers in a way, offering something highly specialized, intangible, and with incredibly high stakes.
High stakes is an understatement. We're talking about infiltrating someone's subconscious and planting an idea so subtly they believe it was their own all along. Talk about next-level marketing.
The ultimate goal, right? And what's brilliant about the film is how it kind of shows us the steps involved, almost like a blueprint for Inception level marketing.
Okay, I'm hooked.
Yeah.
So where does Dom Cobb even begin? How do you sell someone on something as wild as dream manipulation?
Well, it's all about positioning. He doesn't lead with the technical jargon. Instead, he focuses on the emotional impact.
Yep.
Can you remember that line? What is the most resilient parasite? An idea.
Oh, yeah, chills. He's not wrong, though.
Yeah.
Ideas can stick with you long after you've forgotten where they came from.
Precisely. And he plays on that, emphasizing the lasting power of a carefully placed idea. It's about understanding that the human mind is the ultimate battleground for influence.
So it's not about pushing a product, it's about planting a seed, right?
Right.
But how do you even create an environment where that seed can take root?
Now we're getting into the art of crafting the experience. Just like a brand might, meticulously design a store or an advertising campaign.
Okay, so how does that play out in Inception?
Well, think about those incredibly vivid dream landscapes. A rain-soaked city, a luxurious hotel suite, a snow-covered fortress. Each environment is carefully chosen to evoke specific emotions and associations.
It's like sensory marketing on steroids. You're not just selling a product, you're selling a feeling, an atmosphere.
Exactly. For example, that rain-soaked city creates this sense of unease, heightened emotions, maybe even a touch of vulnerability.
Which makes the target more receptive to suggestion. See? And then there's the team itself. They're not just like a random group of dream hackers. Each member brings a very specialized skill set.
Right. You've got the architect, meticulously designing those dreamscapes, the forger, crafting believable identities, and the chemist, crucial for, well, keeping everyone asleep.
Important job.
It really highlights the diverse talents needed for effective marketing, even in the dream world.
So we've got the positioning, the environment, the expert team. What's next in Dom Cobb's Inception-level marketing strategy?
Well, he understands that you can't just hit the target with the big idea all at once. They utilize this gradual, layered approach, moving through increasingly intense dream levels.
It's like that classic marketing funnel concept. You're gently guiding the customer through different stages of awareness and engagement.
Each layer deepens the experience, subtly shifting those perceptions until by the time they reach that final aha moment.
They're already convinced it was their idea all along. Which, if you think about it, is like the holy grail of marketing, right?
Right.
To make the customer feel like they're in control, even when you've kind of subtly guided them towards a specific outcome.
It reminds me of a quote from one of the articles you shared, something about how effective marketing is like a dream state where the consumer is blissfully unaware of being marketed to.
Okay, that's both brilliant and kind of creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where do we draw the line between ethical persuasion and straight-up manipulation?
It's a question marketers have been grappling with for ages. And Inception, even though it's fictional, offers a really interesting perspective. Think about how they translate a complex business goal, like breaking up a company into a deeply personal, emotionally resonant idea.
Right, because on the surface, hey, let's dismantle your dad's legacy, Isn't exactly a winning campaign slogan.
It sounds cold, right? Calculate. But in the film, they tap into something much deeper. The target's yearning for reconciliation with his deceased father.
So they take this potentially negative action, splitting up the company, and frame it as a way to honor his father's unspoken wish for him to forge his own path.
Exactly. They transform a business decision into an act of love, a journey of self-discovery. Suddenly, it's not about destroying a legacy, it's about fulfilling one.
That's incredibly clever.
Yeah.
And a little manipulative, if we're being honest. It makes you realize that understanding a customer's deeper desires, those underlying motivations, can be the key to creating truly persuasive messaging.
It's about speaking to the heart, not just the head. And sometimes those desires, even if they seem irrational on the surface, can be the most powerful drivers of all.
It's like in the film, the most effective idea seed is rooted in a deep primal emotion. It bypasses all logic and goes straight for the gut.
Precisely, which is why the best marketers are also the best listeners. They take the time to understand their audience, their hopes, their fears, their aspirations, even the ones they might not consciously acknowledge.
Because once you understand those underlying motivations, you can craft a narrative that truly resonates.
Yes.
Just like Dom Cobb and his team. It's like they're weaving a dream specifically designed to elicit a specific emotional response.
And that's where things get really interesting because it makes you wonder.
When marketing is that good, that carefully crafted, does it become a form of inception itself? Are we all just walking around with these like subtly planted ideas shaping our desires without us even realizing it?
It's a question that should probably keep a few marketing executives up at night, but it also speaks to the power we have as consumers.
Because if we're aware of these techniques, if we understand how our emotions and desires can be influenced, we can start to see through the smoke and mirrors, right?
Exactly. We become more discerning, more conscious of the stories brands are trying to sell us. It's like learning to recognize the signs of a dream while you're still in it.
So instead of just passively accepting every marketing message that comes our way, we start asking ourselves, why am I drawn to this? What need is this product or service fulfilling? And is it a need I actually have or one that's been subtly created for me?
Those are the right questions to be asking. And that kind of critical thinking, that awareness of, the persuasive techniques being used is what makes us savvy consumers, and it protects us from falling prey to manipulation.
So it's not about swearing off marketing altogether. It's about becoming more aware of its influence and making conscious choices that align with our values and goals.
Precisely. It's about reclaiming our power as consumers and as individuals. And who knows, maybe even using that knowledge to inspire more ethical and impactful marketing in the future.
There's an idea worth planting. This whole conversation has been a serious eye-opener. It's like watching Inception again with a whole new layer of understanding.
It's amazing how art can mirror reality, isn't it? And how exploring fictional worlds can give us insights into our own.
Absolutely. And on that note, I think it's time for me to go analyze some real-world marketing campaigns with a fresh cup of coffee, of course. Thanks for taking this deep dive with me. It's been enlightening.
The pleasure was all mine. Until next time, stay curious and keep questioning everything.